to a quick conversation about Florida State not holding its spring showcase.
Yes.
The Seminoles currently going through Doe Campbell Stadium renovations. And VZ's excited that there is no spring showcase happening. And Mike Norvell commented on it during his Vision of Excellence New Year's presentation, talking mainly over to the Seminole boosters during it, but talking about the newcomers, the new coaching staff. It also revealed that Florida State is not going to have a spring showcase that it has on an annual basis. He said, we're limited with NCAA rules on the amount of time we get to work through spring, and just with how the calendar laid out and some of the other elements, we just felt it was in the best interest of our team to go through spring and make sure we're able to capitalize on each of these practices and every meeting rather than having to possibly miss an opportunity by going and trying to get that done off campus, just with some of the hurdles and different distractions, what that could entail. Norvell also emphasizing that the importance of the 15 allotted spring practices that they get. He said it's about the work, it's about the preparation, it's about the daily investment. We get 15 days, and we've got to maximize every one of those. And sure enough, absolutely they do. Y'all's thought on the spring showcase not happening? I mean, it's definitely changed a lot in the last 10 years of the head coaches, really going back to Jimbo Fisher when it really was a garnet and gold game. Interested to get y'all's takes on it right now.
I know VZ has a lot to say.
Yeah, VZ's ready to go.
I'm so happy that it got canceled. I hate it. It's so pointless. It's not a game. It's just a glorified scrimmage, or not even scrimmage. It's a glorified practice, and they're not even really hitting because they don't want anyone to get hurt. But it's not worth the TV production crew going down there and the travel for fans to come. And I know people were getting at me on Twitter like, yeah, but I want to go tailgate with all these Florida State people. Get some lawn chairs, go sit in your backyard and watch the 2013 national championship. It's way better than this.
Yeah. What do you think?
Like the modern time Allen Iverson rant right there. It's not a game. It's practice. Not a game.
Pointless. Yeah. It's pointless. It's boring. I hated watching it last year. I hated watching it the year before that. Like I would be fine canceling them every year. I'm so serious.
Here's the deal. It is a rough watch. It's really, I think the importance of it is, I think to me, just because I worked at Garnet Gold, being around all the local businesses, I understand the effect of, because you do get a lot of foot traffic. You got everybody coming in, traveling in, and you get to the restaurants and all that kind of stuff. So it's great on the business side. So they take a hit, which definitely sucks. And I hate having that happen, because Florida State overall for football being good, I couldn't imagine how much of a hit they took last year with them going 2-10. To also lose out on a spring game as well, where you would love to see, where there's probably going to be kind of a reset in some minds. Definitely some people still struggling a little bit. We can take a few more months of a little bit of rehab and then reset the mind and be trying to get some hype going into this next season to try to forget 2024. So there is going to be a lot of people that enjoy going to the spring games, also too, a lot more affordable and everything. So that's definitely like that. But the product on there, and like you said, it's definitely a practice. I mean, Dustin, you and I have been there quite a bit. It's just practically moving that from the IPF and the practice fields over inside Doe Campbell Stadium. There's not much of a change. They just have on jerseys and there's like some of the former Noles there and such. But yeah, it's not the same as it used to be back in the days when we had Garnet and Gold games and you had Jameis Winston dropping bombs and you're like, that's the guy. That's the guy right there.
I'm saying, it'd be different. It'd be different if it was still a game. Like, I used to love the Garnet and Gold games. I had a blast with them as a kid growing up, and we'd go over to Tallahassee. It was awesome, but it's not a game anymore. And I do see your point about local businesses, but there's also more than just one sport on campus. The basketball team's okay. If you like the lesser sports, baseball is there. Softball's a good team. You know, there's more than just football that you can go support.
But it's football town, and you know,
I get it. I'm just saying it doesn't.
By that point of the year, you know, you're missing your football fix, and especially with the way 2024 went, you know, Florida State fans really interested to see, you know, what exactly is this new coaching staff going to do? What's the offense going to look like? What's this revamped defense going to look like? Obviously, 30 plus new incoming players into the program this winter, so you're going to miss that experience, you know, and you're not going to get to see them until kickoff against Alabama. But I also think that this can be framed as a positive thing for Florida State, you know, because you're not putting anything on tape that a potential opponent namely Alabama, since that's going to be the first one that FSU plays in 2025. They're not going to be able to see anything of what Florida State is doing. You know, they know who Florida State brought in on the coaching staff. They know who they brought in through high school recruiting and the transfer portal, but they're not going to exactly know how they all fit together, where Florida State is using certain guys schematically on offense and defense and different things of that nature. So in that way, I think it can be viewed as a little bit of a positive for Florida State, but I do understand from the fan side, you know, want to exactly see what this team could look like.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I think too, when you have such a new roster coming in as well, it's enticing to want to go out there and see them. Like you have a whole new quarterback, you have a new starting quarterback that is a dynamic playmaker, and it's going to want to have the fan base put their butt in some seats to watch them. Sadly, it's going to be against Alabama to begin the season. I say sadly because it's going to be a highly priced ticket, I would imagine, in a newly renovated Doak Campbell Stadium. But it's almost like a whole new roster almost. You know, there's more newcomers than returning guys, and that's the thing that I think is giving the FSU fans some hope of seeing a turnaround that not only do they desperately want, but also too Mike Norvell needs it, or he won't be here much longer.